Okay, today I have a question from Marty. Marty wants to know if my engine is hitting its limit on miles, do I change it or try and fix it? So there's a couple questions going on here. The first is, where's the limit on miles? Like, how is that defined? There's, I mean, how do you define that? If the engine is braking, then it's not a mileage limit, it's just the engine is braking. A well-maintained engine can last for a really long time. There's more than one instance out there of regular gasoline engines going for 1,000,000 miles or more. And there's plenty of anecdotes out there about vehicles that they lasted just to the warranty and died. It really comes down to maintenance, driving habits, and what exactly kind of engine and car are we talking about? And then the do I change it or try and fix it part? Well, that again really depends on the vehicle. So if you have a very old vehicle, if your vehicle is not really a classic, it's 15, 20 years old, and the engine is failing or has failed, it's probably not worth swapping that engine out. Average engine swap cost is somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000, depending on the replacement engine. So if you're swapping out, say, a regular 6-cylinder gas engine, you're gonna easily spend pretty close to $10,000 to get a new engine or rebuilt one and pull out your old one and put in a new one. It's not an easy or cheap process. Most people who do it, they spend more than $10,000 pulling it off. A lot of that is labor. It takes a lot of time to set up and to pull out an old engine, put in a new one, and have everything connect well, and then test everything to make sure that it's all together right. So, not a cheap process. A few years ago, you could do it for a whole lot cheaper, but all the costs have gone up since the pandemic. So you're going to spend some money to make it happen. If your car is newer, so if you're within 10 years, if your car is just a few years old, then I would just pull the book value on the car and see what it's worth with a good engine in it. So what is it worth if everything is good? And if you're going to go over the value of the car by putting in that new engine or rebuilt, don't bother. Otherwise, it might be worth it. Think about it really hard and get a very good estimate on what it's going to cost to actually do the work. A lot of garages will give you vague estimates based on just their average times to do an engine swap. But if you talk to them and say, look, I need a very specific one because I'm trying to decide if I should bother budgeting this, I need you to be as close as possible. If you do that, then they'll usually say, okay, with your particular make and model, this is what it will cost. And they'll work out those details for you. Yeah, that's a very iffy proposition. Most of the time, in my experience, it is not worth swapping an engine out. Unless the car has some sort of value beyond what it can resell for, there's really no point in swapping out the engine. You're better off just either getting it running as good as possible so that you can try to trade it in, or just junking it and buying a different vehicle. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at on this question. It was a little too vague to really get details, and I wasn't able to get any more details out of Marty for it. So this is as good as I can do on this one. But if you've got a question, if you need to know an answer to it and it has to do with automotive, hit me up. You can find me down in the comments underneath this video. You can find me on the socials. Just make sure you tag or DM me so I see it. You can find my email and stuff or contact info on places like Cowboy State Daily, Car News Cafe, and a lot of places like that. So yeah, if you've got questions, hit me up. I'll see if I can answer them. All right, this has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.